Everybody has that one lolcow that started it all. For most people, that person is Chris Chan, Daniel Larson, Cyrax, or King Cobra JFS. But for me, even though my first exposure to Chris Chan was when I was 12 years old, there was somebody else that awoken my fascination with watching crazy people spiraling from a distance. And that man is Canada's punching bag, Spencer Nolan Rice. Back to my story, one night when I was 8 years old, I sat down with my parents watching TV, and they turned on a show that I had never seen before called Kenny vs. Spenny. Most importantly, it was the episode called Who Can Wear an Octopus on Their Head the Longest.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh! No! Oh my God, it's the worst!
Okay, this is the worst experience of my life. Right now.
Stop singing! Okay, it's... What? It's disgusting!
To anyone not in the know, Kenny vs. Spenny is a reality TV show where Kenneth Joel Hotz and Spencer Nolan Rice would do a competition and the loser had to do a humiliation. The humiliation could be anything of the winner's choosing that the show's producers were able to get on television. Spenny plays by the rules and Kenny breaks them, or more often finds clever ways around them. The show came out back in 2003 and is honestly one of my favorite TV shows of all time, but I mention this because in the octopus episode, Kenny mixed LSD into Spenny's orange juice. And we got to see Spenny trip out, something that my 8-year-old mind could not comprehend.
I have to go outside and be free! There's too many walls, there's too many restrictions, too many cameras. Can I touch that? Why is it moving away from me?
Oh my God.
Kenny! I love you!
When people watch a couple of episodes for the first time, the general consensus is that Spenny's the good one and Kenny's the bad one, the sort of good versus evil story that we've all seen and heard before. But once you start to watch it more and more, you start to realize that it's a lot more complex than that. Kenny and Spenny have such a unique relationship where Kenny is both Spenny's lifeline and greatest A-log. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So why don't we just learn who is Spenny and how did he end up the way that he is? Spenny was born on March 29th, 1963 in Toronto, Canada, and eventually went to university to study film. Spenny did this because his cousin, Marjorie Gross, a comedian who actually wrote 4 episodes of Seinfeld, inspired him to go into the entertainment industry, as well as him getting to meet some celebrities and going on to movie sets as a kid, visiting his mother in Los Angeles. After graduating film school, Spenny would create a short film called Telehore about a phone sex worker that would premiere in the 1993 Toronto Film Festival. Unfortunately, however, this seems to be lost to time. What isn't lost, however, was the first collaboration film-wise between Spenny and Kenny called It Don't Cost Nothing to Say Good Morning, about an alcoholic midget named Shorty Gordy that lived in Toronto. Despite being made in the early 90s, it was recorded in black and white film in order to keep costs low.
Rich people are not happy in this world. You can't take the money with you. When they say good morning to you, you just look at it, who the hell are you? And it don't cost nothing to say good morning. I say good morning to lots of people. They just look at you.
Kenny was also born in Toronto, Canada, this time May 3rd, 1967, and even though he was 4 years younger than Spenny, he had went to film camp at the age of 7 and started making his own documentaries in 1989, giving him the edge in who would be working with film the longest. Kenny was also a war journalist during the Gulf War back in 1991. Kenny and Spenny's parents were all friends, so they had essentially known each other their entire lives, with Spenny even babysitting Kenny at one point. So partnering up together was a no-brainer, especially when they had such similar interests and goals, except for one catch. Kenny and Spenny are polar opposites.
Spenny does it more by being that sort of lugubrious, long-faced character and dropping his lines deadpan. And Kenny does it with more classic TV talent, comedic animation. But the two things I can tell you for sure is that neither one of them is actually insane.
While working together, Kenny and Spenny wrote a movie script called The Dawn. It was a comedy that's unlike any that I've ever heard of, so I'll let them explain it.
It's a mafia comedy based in New York about a godfather who goes into the hospital for a hernia operation and accidentally gets a sex change. So it's very funny, very commercial. It's very funny, very hip, very commercial. And they hung up on me.
Making the most out of what they had, Kenny and Spenny had the idea to make a feature-length documentary covering them pitching the script in Hollywood, aptly naming the documentary Pitch. The Don, unfortunately, was never picked up by Hollywood, and Pitch never made the money that they expected it to. This would become a big problem for Spenny, in particular, who took out a loan from somebody named David Wolfish. How much, you might be wondering? $10,000. But you know what? That film was able to get them enough clout to write an episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It might have been a live-action one that nobody liked, but you better believe that if I wrote an episode for any Ninja Turtles, you would never hear the end of it. Fast forward to 1999, and Kenny and Spenny moved to Los Angeles in the United States, where they would eventually get a pilot for their show, Kenny vs. Spenny, funded in 2001, where there would be glory for the winner and humiliation for the loser.
Since the beginning of time,
All living creatures were forced to compete for survival. The instinctual need to compete for food, shelter,
and freedom has created an environment where only the strongest
survive.
This spirit of competition has reached a pinnacle in the lives of two friends who have dedicated their existence to compete against each other to prove absolutely nothing. This is Kenny versus Spenny.
Something that you're going to need to know from this point on is that Spenny, while acting like he's above it all and a learned man, can't even make pancakes at 38 years old. That being said, he was smart enough to lock up his food to stop Kenny from tampering with it.
Now I'm trying to make my meal here, which is going to consist of pancakes, 5 egg whites, chicken breast, and carrot pineapple juice. The problem for me is simple. I don't know how to cook. I didn't consider that when I started this thing. It's supposed to be easy. Skillet is ready when drops of water sizzle. What's a skillet? Kenny normally does the cooking. It's really not clear. So 1 cup, 3/4 cup of water. You've seen this on the cooking shows. Does it sizzle? Oh, yeah. Pour slightly less than 1/4 cup of batter for each pancake. Let's just make one big one. Turn pancakes when so these bubbles here. No! Flip it. Okay, that's not good. Holy smokes. We gotta go work out.
Unfortunately, the show was cancelled right as this was being made, but Kenny and Spenny continued working on the pilot regardless, and because of that, 26 episodes were bought by the Canadian Broadcast Channel in 2003. Spenny would then do the first humiliation, giving some old guy a sponge bath. These humiliations, by the way, fun fact, would play right before the national news.
The humiliation for this episode is Spenny has to give an old guy a sponge bath. Make sure you get under the arm, Spencer. Get it nice and clean.
Spenny, for the rest of the series, would try to play off himself as being the good one that would always follow the rules and do the right thing. But he would then cheat in the cooking episode. Seriously, he went full Ratatouille long before that movie came out.
The biggest challenge I have facing me is disguising my headset and my receiver. It's all going to be up on my head, covered by the chef's hat. I think it's ingenious. I applaud you.
You're welcome.
This is the receiver with the headset. No one can see it.
Push the bathing suit cap up higher because it's showing the chef hat down a bit. That's it.
Can you see it? So I am wired to get Jeff the chef's instructions. Have I gone to the dark side? I don't think so. This is an isolated incident in a competition where I think I have a disadvantage, in a series of competitions where I have been messed with in so many different ways. I think it's justified. I think if there is a heavenly Father looking down upon me, he will understand.
Spenny still lost and had to eat cat food because of it.
I can't.
Eat it!
I can't swallow it.
Swallow a piece. Pick up a piece of turkey.
can't.
Pick up a piece. You love turkey. I made you a beautiful presentation.
Just swallow it.
Okay. Eat it. You have to swallow it.
I have gag reflex. I can't.
Eat it. Pick it up and eat it, Spencer.
From that point on, the show pretty much stopped being Kenny versus Spenny, but instead, Kenny and Friends versus Spenny. Kenny had on his team the camera and sound crew, the production staff, his mother, brother, sister, guests, animals, and even children were all recruited to bully Spenny and force him into humiliating himself. Spenny, by the end of the show, would end up doing 59 humiliations. I'm not joking, by the way. There's an episode where Spenny wears a blindfold for 3 days and is physically abused and bullied by Kenny, ending with him being humiliated.
Where's Kenny? Kenny! You still have the blindfold on?
As a humiliation for losing this episode, Spenny has to endure my breath for 60 seconds. So I did not brush my teeth yesterday. I did not brush my teeth today. I am going to drink Thai fish sauce, drink some pickle juice, eat some anchovy paste, and chew on an onion. This is actually going to be very disgusting for me, but I think it's going to be worth it.
As funny as it would be to go over all the episodes, there are way too many of them for me to be able to do that. But in the episode, Who Can Stay Handcuffed the Longest, the late David Wolfish came in, and we learned that Spenny not only borrowed that $10,000 that we talked about earlier from Pitch, but he never paid it back.
That's Wolfish.
Yeah, I flew him in. Here, come in, open the door.
No.
Open the door.
No, don't open the door.
David, welcome to Toronto, my friend.
Buenos dias, amigos.
Ben, how are you?
Spenny, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I got some luggage here. Want to give me a hand? Hi, I'm Wolfish. Nice to meet you, everyone. We gotta talk later, Spenny. You owe me a lot of money.
I don't. We've been over that a million times.
No. We'll go over it later. It's a lot of money, $10,000.
You're a big boy. We all tried to make a film, and it didn't make the money we thought it was going to make.
That's okay. No, let's relax. You just flew in.
That's why I said later. This is Buzz and Baldy, and they're brothers, and they're my boys. And they're the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Their passing was a difficult thing to get through, but out of pain comes a whole lot of growth. It was so traumatic and difficult for me to deal with their loss was because I was so unhappy. They're here with me, and we're here together, and we're gonna make a difference. Spenny killed my dogs. That $10,000 could have made the difference, you know? You become an evil person, Spenny. How do you feel about yourself, Spenny?
I feel fine.
Do you feel good, Spenny? Do you feel good? Do you feel good, Spenny? Does it make you feel better? Do you feel good? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel satisfied, Spenny? You're like a window, a mirror into the evil in this world. You know?
I can't be mad at him. He's so dark.
I feel sorry for him. I want to help you, Spenny. You think you're like some kind of rock or something over there.
Brick wall.
Oh yeah, brick wall. Brick walls fall down. You take a few pieces out of the foundation, Spenny, and they fall down.
Both Kenny and Spenny would actually go more into detail on this during a DVD commentary where we find out just how much Kenny was fanning the flames in that situation.
Spenny hates
chicken. Okay, this is a true story. In this DVD,
Okay, I don't even want to
there
go there.
is a movie called Pitch. Now,
It's all
Spenny
explained.
borrowed
It's all
money. No,
explained
it's
in the
not.
show.
Spenny
I
borrowed
didn't
money
borrow
from
money.
this guy, and he said he'd pay him back, and
You're
Spenny
lying?
never paid him back.
You're lying?
Wolfish is totally real. This was, I swear, one of the greatest
it's
things
real.
I've ever done.
But yeah, it was a great thing, but let me tell you what really happened, which was he signed a contract saying that he would give a certain amount of money to help finish the production of which you were a part of.
Of the movie Pitch.
Right. And then he started whining 2 days later, they shouldn't have done it, and no one did
Yeah, he was an idiot. He gave you money to make a movie,
Right, so I don't
and
owe
the
him money.
movie made
End
no
of story.
fucking money.
Right. So this is all a big charade. Talk about the money. Here we go.
Believe me, by saying he's
money,
the worst actor is complimenting
He's
him.
never, ever getting the money, and I've told him
You owe him money.
I don't owe him money. I just explained to you why I don't.
Yeah, but listen, why don't you hear it from me? Spenny told this guy that if he loses money on our movie Pitch, Spenny will pay him back to get the money.
Pitch is going to make money for the
It
next
won't.
100
The thing's
years.
from 1997.
Yeah, it makes money
It's
every year,
over.
and eventually he'll be in a position
No
to get
way.
paid back.
And
Yes.
No way. Look at this. This is what
What do you think
Spenny.
it is,
This
charity?
is the
Oh, this
touching,
is the worst.
the touching, the love. Spenny's.
I don't know
fucked.
if we kept it in. He said that I needed to go to AA, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, because even they can't help you.
Okay, here we go. He believes that I killed his dogs. It's delusional.
His dogs died. Anyways, I see this
He
guy.
thinks his dogs died because he didn't have the money that I took from him. It's so ridiculous.
A whole lot of growth. It was so traumatic.
I can't even talk during this.
This was the nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
Tell him
he-
about the time you went eating with him after the dog
Anyway,
died.
so I meet the guy in L.A. and he is totally emaciated. He's like 34 pounds because his fucking dogs died. I convinced him.
Spenny killed my
I
dog.
convinced him that you killed his dogs.
I know you did. I'm an evil person. Can you believe this?
The first season then ended with Spenny just being locked in a closet for a day, and none of the crew even bothered to help him.
Whoa. Very funny. Kenneth, open up. Where's the gym? There's no... You gotta be kidding me. Kenny, you're not leaving me in here. What the hell's going on? Are you crazy? This is false imprisonment. I'll break the fucking door down.
It's solid oak, Spenny.
Oh, you're there.
Spenny, I'm gonna win this competition by you not showing up for the match.
Kenny!
I'll let you out in a couple of days.
What?
I'm leaving
A couple
town.
of days? You're insane! Kenny, why are you locking me in the room?
Because if you don't show up for the boxing match, it's a forfeit and I win. I'll be back in 2 days, Spenny.
Kenny, you're gonna go to prison. You're gonna go to prison. I'm not kidding.
Well, then I'll never let you out.
Kenny!
Sebby, is he gonna snap?
He's gonna be pissed, man.
Think he's gonna be pissed at you guys?
Of course. He's gonna be pissed at everybody.
Yeah.
This was literally 26 episodes of tax-funded bullying. It was great, but being put on the CBC meant that there were many rules they had to follow, and there were also plenty of challenges that they couldn't do. The show was overall a success, but unfortunately, due to its format and time slot playing right before the news where anyone going to turn it on early saw humiliation, the show would be dropped by the CBC. But it would be picked up by another channel called Showcase, where thankfully many of those rules would be dropped. Or, as Kenny would say from this point on, this is the adult version of the show.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess I should say this is after you guys watched that whole piece of season
Christ.
1 CBC show. Now this is the bumped up hardcore adult version. This is the show that CBC would not let us do. We wanted to do the who could drink more beer or who could smoke more
well, look at me
pot.
here. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't.
And you
wolf
know what?
my
And
cookies.
because CBC wouldn't let us do this show, this was episode number 1 of
What's that on my
the
head?
Showcase series.
Oh, you're a disgusting sock.
With the first episode being one of Spenny's worst moments throughout the entire series, let's get some highlights in, shall we?
Spencer, wake up. Wake up. Look at this. This is disgusting. Someone's here to talk to you. Someone's here to talk to you. Hi.
Hi, Spencer.
Why are you in my bedroom?
We were invited in by your friend.
To see. I don't have a friend, obviously.
We're addiction counselors, and your buddy called us because he's concerned that you're drinking yourself to death.
And we're here to do an intervention.
Hey, go! Seriously, go! Spenny's drunk. That's fucking great. You people just want blood. It's a fucking blood sport, right? Blood sport! Blood sport! Spenny's down! Spenny's hurt! Spenny's down! Kenny wins! Kenny wins! Kenny wins! Kenny wins!
Well, in another director's commentary, Kenny would tell us some more Spenny lore, this time about him driving around with an open bottle of vodka.
The competition this week is who can drink more beer.
And Spenny totally can. Spenny actually wouldn't let me say that he is an alcoholic on the couch.
First of all, I'm not an alcoholic.
You are an alcoholic.
And you're continuing this on the, what is this, the commentary tracks?
Very
I'm not
good.
happy with that.
Spenny used to, when we were in high school, Spenny used to
drive around with a bottle of vodka in the car. We all know about this.
Did you?
I had a phase where, yes, I had a...
Yeah, you had a large bottle of Absolute in a paper
I was
bag.
into rock and roll. And that's what rock and roll people did.
Yeah, they drove around with fucking vodka in their car.
I'm sure some of them did.
And he did a lot of acid. And he got busted for acid.
Are you out of your mind?
It's true.
You used to deal drugs.
Just weed.
I don't think so.
Yes, it's true. And you still owe me money for that.
It is a forfeit, and I have won.
See, look how good I look. You know what? Now I know why they call me Canada's George Clooney.
But as much fun as it is to watch Spenny versus the world, there are just some times that you have to root for him. Spencer might be crazy and easily has his buttons pushed, but he's not a bad guy, nor has he really done anything irredeemable. Well, that is until Kenny vs. Spenny ended. In 2010, Kenny vs. Spenny ended, and the two had a falling out, with Spenny being Kenny's whipping boy for almost a decade now. He wanted to be the one that made more money from the show. Spenny got the idea that he could strike out on his own, and both Kenny and Spenny produced their own shows independently from each other. Kenny had once described Kenny vs. Spenny as man vs. man, and his new show, Kenny Hotz Triumph of the Will, as man vs. himself. Personally, I thought it was a great show, not as good as Kenny vs. Spenny, but still pretty good. Meanwhile, Spenny made a sitcom called Single White Spenny. This show is probably the worst thing that I've ever seen, zero exaggeration. This show, however, single-handedly proved that Spenny wasn't acting in Kenny vs. Spenny. This is one scene of a flustered Spenny from the show. Seriously, this show should have been called Spenny vs. Acting.
What'd you do to it, Spenny?
Nothing.
You look guilty.
You look guilty.
Hey, this thing smells like booze. Did you and the monkey party last night?
Yeah, I took the monkey out clubbing, Stu. What's the matter with you?
What's this? It smells like the top of a liquor bottle.
Did you give the monkey booze?
I had to. It wouldn't stop howling. I have to sleep. I need my 8 hours.
I thought you were the protector of the Silverbrow.
I am. The booze and the pills was a one-time thing.
Pills? Did you hear that? The son of a drugged it too. Turned him into an addict.
I've had about enough out of you. You want to go? We'll go.
Now, try to compare that to Spenny defending why he walks around Toronto with a cooler a year earlier.
I carry a cooler because I like to take my own lunch because they put too much salt in food in restaurants. Arrest me. I'm crazy. I'm nuts. And what's in the suitcase? Exactly what I said was in the suitcase. Okay? I've got this. Okay? This. I tie it around my head when I put my makeup on. Oh, shocking. I get headaches. Wonder why I get headaches. It's obvious, okay? And I keep that. Here's the suitcase. Why am I so angry? Because I have a suitcase that you ridiculed. And I'm telling you exactly what's in it, what I said. I got my makeup and my thing to put my hair back. And I've got headache medication because you give me a fucking headache.
Unsurprisingly, Single White Spenny was not picked up for a season 2. Also at this time, Spenny's divorce was being finalized, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he got hit pretty hard. Spenny's ex-wife wanted $6,030 per month in child support, $7,265 in childcare expenses, as well as $50,000 in attorney's fees. Listen, I'm all in for making fun of Spenny and his kids being taken care of, but those numbers are absolutely absurd, and the payments of $1,295 a month, plus 13.45% of all money made above $5K, was much more reasonable. By this point, Kenny vs. Spenny was no longer airing in Canada, and the DVDs were no longer being made either, so Kenny did something that I have never seen a celebrity do before, and uploaded all the episodes onto his own channel starting in November 2012. Fast forward to 2013, and Kenny would get his own Sirius XM show, And what would a Kenny show be without a good prank call where Spenny gets called out?
All right, Spenny, we're on. How you doing?
I'm well. Who's this?
Spencer.
It's Jeff. It's Jeff Castle. We've got Brian Pico here. And
Hi, Spen.
Jeff, I understand that you're more popular than me with Canadians. And I did some research, and I'm more popular than you in Vatican City. So just remember that.
You put them together, and it's a tie.
Yeah.
Spenny, are you reading all the articles about me?
No.
Wow, that's from a recent article from Maclean's Magazine, Canada's leading periodical, about me and my new radio show.
Well, somebody sent me, I got this woman from Germany who thinks I'm in a mental hospital, and it's just unbelievable. You said something, so that's where I read it. She sent me pieces of it.
First
she
of all,
thinks I'm in a mental hospital, and I probably should be, but I'm not, and it's quite annoying. Stop doing it. Please, stop the lies.
Yeah, the file wing is not a mental hospital. It is a correctional facility.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
What do you want?
What are you doing?
I'm lying in bed talking to you on the phone when I should be working.
Well, if you're lying in bed, doesn't that mean you are working?
No. It means that I'm lying in bed.
Your clientele on break?
Is Pico there? What do you, say hello
Hi,
for me.
Spen. Hi, Spen. How are you?
Hey, man. How are you?
Good.
So you're a radio personality now?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Big time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he finally has personality. Now, I heard a story. There's a story that came out of Scandinavia last week that you were performing with a manatee for the Prince of Norway.
Okay. That's not accurate. I do like manatees.
Oh, it's a princess. No, I'm sorry, you're right. It was the Princess of Norway.
Yeah. I won't dignify that with a comment, other than I think manatees are amazing, and they should stop running them over in Florida with the propeller marks on them. It's disgusting. They're beautiful, peaceful creatures, enormous giants, but gentle, and that's all I have to say.
And how are your propeller scars? Are they healing?
I don't have propeller scars. I do have a lot of hurt feelings, and Kenny, you know all about that. But is this it? This is why you called me?
Did you call?
Do we have a radio
you
show?
You did something
prepared?
I got talking about fans and people that tell you. I hear you did some blog something where you said you and I don't talk anymore.
Well, I've said maybe at that moment we hadn't spoken in a long time, but no, I've said that we're still friends because I get a lot of that. Are you still friends with Kenny? And he's such an asshole. Why you talk to him? So I might have done that if we had not spoken for a while.
Well,
I tell the truth. It's a unique thing in your world, but I generally tell the truth.
Here are some differences between Kenny and Spenny. Spenny would make one more failed show called X-Rated that would go absolutely nowhere, and Spenny's money started drying up. Kenny, on the other hand, was doing things like working on South Park as a writer, and doing cameos in movies and TV shows. But why couldn't Spenny have written episodes of South Park with Kenny, I'm sure that many of you are asking? They did it on Ninja Turtles. Well, that's because Matt Stone and Trey Parker hate Spenny after he got super drunk at a bar with them and ruined their night.
Well, we met Matt and Trey the first time, and we went out with them one night. Spenny got so f***ed up that he basically got thrown out of the restaurant we were in and ended up in a bus shelter, like, yeah, like it's sad and crazy. Like he's a real addict. He's a really f***ed up, dark, broken person. But it takes a person like that to, make a show like Kenny versus Spenny. That's why it's so unique, because it's actually real and we're not actors.
Yeah.
So when you with somebody like that, it becomes truly an incredible
art piece,
piece of art.
Yeah.
Because that stuff migrates through the screen, and that. Even though people said, "Did you really dose him acid?" The guy's on acid.
You can tell. You can't fake that.
Cooper can't act like that. Like he's like a broken man on acid, and that's why it's so crazy. That's why the show's so crazy, because it's so real.
It really hits
and
home.
What happened was, I was like, "Oh, great, Spenny, you ruined our chance with Matt and Trey. Now we'll never see him again." But what happened was, they loved it so much. They were so impressed by how real and fucked up Spenny was that, they invited me to do South Park, and I became very close with them, and Matt especially. And
wow, that's awesome.
And all because Spenny, lost his shit
and like honestly almost died.
Wow. When I interviewed Brandon Bird, he told me a story about bringing Kenny to a casino, or Spenny rather, to a casino, and he got so blind drunk that they were like pushing him around in a wheelchair, and Brandon was letting people like take pictures with him, Weekend at Bernie style.
That just happened a couple nights ago.
Cornwall?
Yeah, in Cornwall, he got so
Spenny
drunk
said
that he kicked a fan.
He kicked a fan?
Yeah, he some drunk fan, some idiot, but they're both idiots, and you're not allowed to get that wasted. And he came to my room 7 a.m. the next day. I'm so sorry, because he knows I don't have to do this. You know, I'm on the brink of going out solo, which I never really wanted to do because I just like to have fun and go out with friends and hang out, and but my dream is to be like a solo stand-up comedian.
So with Spenny not getting any more residuals outside of the occasional showing of Pitch, he would start to play blues live shows at bars and any other place that would take him in. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, so Spenny convinced Kenny to do some live shows with him across Canada, and from then on, Kenny would humiliate Spenny, making him do prostate exams in front of a live audience, and eventually to volunteers.
As a public service, the Kenny vs. Spenny franchise would like to show you what a prostate exam is exactly like.
Don't pretend he's pretending what's going on. He did it yesterday, he pussied out, he didn't stick his finger in your butt. This time you're gonna do it, you're gonna fucking swim back to fucking Vancouver, you fucking idiot. Bend over and fasten your safety belts. This is a humiliation that I didn't even think about. I would have loved to have done on Kenny versus Spenny. Spenny's going to be looking for gloss.
Where are you going? Where's he going?
He's going to looking for gloss sets in your butt.
Bobby, do you like cancer?
No.
Okay, do you want people to get cancer?
No.
Do you want men to go get checked so that they don't get cancer?
Yes.
Bend over. Spread your cheeks. Let's do this.
With all the episodes being on YouTube for free, this let the show's audience grow drastically, and one of the biggest things that this new audience latched onto was the pay wolfish meme, something that Spenny is still dealing with 10 years later.
I have blocked anybody who says wolfish or at wolfish on Twitter or Facebook. You're gone! I fucking delete you, I cancel you. You! You know I'm wolfish. You don't even know wolfish.
I love you. Free VIP pass. Everyone says fuck.
Like I bring
1 second. Listen. Wolfish was a friend of ours. A guy who had no money.
He was a friend of yours. Tell the truth.
He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine who Spencer ripped off for $10,000.
I did!
So anyways, I love Wolfish. I just want to show this clip quickly because this is a person that actually stole 10. Can you imagine having, like, if I say, shut up! $10,000. $10,000 he took from my friend. And he promised to
Anybody have a violin? Anybody have a violin here? We could,
you never pay him back. Did you promise to him that you'd pay him back?
I did.
And you said, I swear you won't pay him back.
Anything to get him to stop calling.
Did you say, I promise you won't pay him back?
I did. It's a public record.
Did you pay him back? Did you pay him back?
No, I never will pay him back.
Piece of shit.
But he's leaving out. He's leaving out the point of the story. Show the stupid. But which one is it?
Fast forward to the 2016 election, and both Kenny and Spenny would have polar opposite reactions to it. Kenny would travel to the United States and filmed a documentary for Vice called Getting an Election with the goal of trolling and making money.
Trump's flying around telling everybody, hey, I want to make America great again. Guess what? America seems pretty great to me. Here I am in gorgeous Miami Beach, 29 degrees on this sunny day. Life is good. Vice has actually paid me to come here and do this. Thanks for the cash, Spike Jones. I really don't think Rubio's going to win at this point. I'm really sorry. It's almost impossible. It's just not gonna happen. Seriously, I'm really sorry. It's not gonna happen. Okay, gotta go.
Spenny, on the other hand, would get a really bad case of TDS, and I know it's not there anymore on his Instagram, and you really are gonna have to believe me when I say this, but every day while scrolling through Instagram, I would see Spenny talking about how the world was gonna end. When not touring with Kenny, Spenny would still play blues music at whatever place would take him, and say what you want about Spenny, but he is able to play the guitar.
father was a jockey and he showed me how to ride. He's head around in the middle, Spencer, from side to side. He's a fine little pony ride till the break of day.
Then, in 2020, Spenny got hit hard. Everything was closed down due to the lockdowns, and he even had his driver's license taken away because he could no longer afford to pay his child support.
It was the first time we went down there because Spenny, who is a father that never paid child support for his kids, or was, you know, he did, but he was charged too much. He went through a horrible divorce. They took his passport and his driver's license, everything.
Oh shit!
So I couldn't go to the States, and I would have gone to the States alone. And I'd go. I love the States. I'd go intermittently, but not to tour.
Yeah.
But so we finally got his passport back after like 20 years of being a deadbeat dad, and we went. And so we go. 4 shows. They all sold out. It was really weird because we haven't been on TV in 10 years. And 2 of the 4 shows, Spenny gets so blind wasted that he basically ruins the meet and greet with the fans. like Bukowski wasted. Like blind, like ambulance wasted.
Without much income, Spencer was down bad and had to go to Kenny once again for help. Kenny saw an opportunity and managed to get a Paldemic special greenlit by the CBC for more taxpayer-funded bullying.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, it's a COVID special. I have no idea why we're doing it, but we're doing it.
We're doing it because I sold it. They ordered some lame COVID special from me, but them, they're getting this. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, I know I look stupid. This is what I'm calling my social distancing stick. It's exactly 6 feet long. And the camera guys, I don't want anybody to get close to me. I have a child with underlying health conditions. I have to be very, very careful.
He is drinking. He is a drug addict. In our contract,
Kenny, come on, man.
In our contract, it says that he's not allowed to do drugs or drink alcohol. That's all he's being.
It is not. He's lying.
Are you on antidepressants?
Well, yeah, that's true, but
Okay,
it's not in our contract.
Are you drinking on antidepressants?
Kenny, off.
Are you drinking on antidepressants? Tell the truth.
Yes.
He has no source of income. I started this whole tour. You have no income. I'm his only source of income. The only other thing he was doing is running around to all these shitty bars all over the country playing blues music.
No, blues, classic rock and country. I like working with you, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not even...
because he get paid. I'm totally paying him.
You're not paying him. I own a fucking third of this.
Yeah,
he's
because
delusional.
You shouldn't own a third of it.
Delusional.
He has no reason to own a third of this.
We were on the
I totally created this show. It's Paldemic is my concept. I wrote everything out. He had nothing to do with it. I've been working every day for months. He basically did a spell check on my paperwork and then just showed up. He's done no work and he's basically getting paid what I am.
I'm giving prostate exams on stage with audience members. He doesn't ever do that. Is that not worth something? Is that not bringing something to the partnership?
Kenny gave the full story on how Spenny lost it all while Spenny was going off like a lunatic in the background.
First of all, I worked for 20 years and I saved up all of my money. I never spent a penny. He lost all of his money in this horrible divorce and then I begged him. I said, he had some stupid like scumbag friend who had like this Ponzi scheme and he gave everything, hundreds of thousands of dollars to his friend and he lost everything. I begged him not to do it. I said, give me $20K and buy this building with me, and you wouldn't even do that. You wouldn't even do that, and look, you lost all of your money, and every time you don't listen to me, you get screwed. I've been protecting you my entire life, and you keep...
You don't have to say entire life. Just say, my life.
My life.
Your life is entire. So he's got a property. I don't have a property. I've got a house that I live in. I'm very happy.
Are you?
Yes. No.
I've seen some bad comedy before, but Spenny is easily the worst comedian on the planet.
You ever notice that right-wing conservative people generally don't play the bongo drums? Is that just me? I'm a Jew.
not a good Jew. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hey, Sebi. You like a good PPJ? PPJ? Yeah. What do you like? What is it? Say, what is that? PPJ. Sandwich. Okay, start again. Sebi. Hey, Matt. You like a good PBJ? Yeah. Yeah? Do you know what the difference is between jelly and a jam? A jam is a gelatin with fruit in it. A jelly is a gelatin with fruit juice. And the marmalade is jelly with little fruit floating in it in marmalade.
Spenny would then go on to humiliate himself for money. Let's get some more highlights, shall we?
This week, I will be eating a roll of toilet paper.
Keep eating. Eat, tons, go. Do it faster, more.
So I will drink some hand sanitizer. Do not ever do this at home. I am a trained professional. Give me water! Oh, it's burning! Not on the floor! Oh, fuck!
Unfortunately, I can't show you what Spenny would end up doing with that plunger, and no, I cannot show you or go into more detail. But what I can go into more detail on is that around this time, he had every episode of Kenny vs. Spenny pulled down from YouTube because he wanted the money from them and YouTube wasn't bringing in what he wanted. Spenny then had the idea to sell tickets to a pay-per-view live stream that would have himself and Kenny called Jew Year's Heave. Let me show you the quality of Spencer Rice Productions, and I want to remind you that I am not tampering with this audio in any way.
You're not going to be able to play off because of the sound delay. So
You look Rosie O'Donnell with cancer. Spencer joined a band, Motley Jew.
we're going to talk to the fans. I want to talk about Trump. I want to talk about the environment. I want to talk about the internet, this disease that we're on right now that's spreading lies all over the world. There's a lot to talk about. This is just a party. Can't even make you laugh. This is Uncle Body jokes. Right now I'm going to do ready?
Personally, this one fight was enough to justify paying for a ticket.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. No. Let's take another fan question. Kenny, we're not doing our stand-up act. What?
Do you have your driver's license?
No.
No, why? Because you're a drunk driver?
No. I lost it once because of that, but that was a long time ago, before it was chic to drink and drive.
Spencer, do you have a credit card?
Kenny, fuck off.
How old are you? You're 60 years old.
I'm 75.
Okay, and you don't have a credit card or a driver's license.
Yeah.
And
You better look at these.
why not? Why? Because you're a deadbeat dad and you never paid child support. You got booted out of America.
No, okay. Oh! Excuse me, I'm a what?
It's true. You know what?
Okay. Hang on! What kid? What's that?
That's the mic.
Hang on. No. We are dealing with what you just said about a deadbeat dad. Now, first of all, there's a group in Canada called the Family Responsibility Office. Now, the Family Responsibility Office, because I live in Canada and my ex-wife and kids live in the States, they're the people that hound you for child support. So now, because you're such an asshole and you mentioned this and it's not true, I'm going to have to go into my bank account and show people that I actually do pay child support. And I hate that you do this to me.
This stream was so bad that Kenny and Spenny would end up having to do another one for everyone that bought a ticket as an apology for the Spencer Rice disaster stream we got. This would then be a regular thing that Kenny and Spenny would do together, and of course we would always get the age-old question, when will he pay back Wolfish?
Take that question off, John. Give him his money back. I've answered it too many fucking times.
Why won't you pay back? If you won $1 million, would you pay back Wolfish?
No.
10 million.
No, 100 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion. Why does
Why would
Spencer
you pay
hate
the guy
puppies?
back if you had $1 trillion?
I don't hate puppies. I hate my puppy until he becomes a little more mature.
I don't hate puppies. I just
hate my puppy.
I hate some of them. Nobody hates puppies.
I hate my puppy.
Well, that was 4 years ago, and what's happened with Spenny since? Has he gotten any more thankful towards Kenny and the majority of his fan base? Well, this is what Spenny would have to say about his supporters in late May 2024.
Anyways, my hat's off to Kenny for allowing me to do this. John, the reason why I'm doing this is because though I hate them and I have zero respect for the Kenny fans, like zero respect.
What else could I possibly say about Spenny? Oh yeah, he uses Twitter way too much. Let's check out a typical day in the life of Spenny on Twitter. What kind of monster do you think Spenny is? Right answers only. Let's take a moment to talk about what a monster you are! A couple of days ago, you called me a rapist. Your apology is buried at the bottom of a promo where you're trying to make money, hoping I'll repost it so you can make money off my followers. Even worse, you use the word, you have followers that aren't also my followers? How many? 7? Not sure, but I know none of your fans love you more than you love yourself. Hashtag narcissism. Self-love is important. Try it sometime, Muffin. XOXO, kissy face. Once again, Kenny is just being a good friend in his own way, while Spenny is too much of a neurotic to recognize it. Thank you for pointing that out. Maybe someday Spenny will understand what a good friend I always am to him. Maybe someday Kenny won't call me a rapist or a pedophile. Apparently, in his world, that's what good friends do. Who knew? Where did I go right? I'll tell you where Spenny didn't go right. Scamming Wolfish and driving around with an open bottle of vodka because he thought it looked cool. You've done it. You couldn't be any more boring. Congrats. I love you, Spenny. I love him too, but what he really needs to learn is how to love himself. Hashtag choose love, Spenny. Step into the light. Love is love. So, at the end of the day, what's there left to say about Spenny? Even he says that he's a lol cow. Well, I'll say this. Despite what Kenny has been known to say about him, Spenny is not some sort of raven, drunken and on drugs lunatic that goes after children, small animals, and homeless people. Spenny, while being a little neurotic, self-righteous, and paranoid, is easily the best person that I've covered on this channel, and he's also the only person I've covered in a video whose signature I own. And at the end of the day, I'd love to see one of Spenny's stand-up routines, blues performances, or even have a drink with the guy. That being said, he 100% is Canada's punching bag, and when he's gone, we'll be losing a national treasure, as well as an international icon. But that's just what I think. What about you? Comment down below and let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. But wait, what's this? The lolcow trading card game has just gotten a little more advanced. Not in its rules, but now adding in brand new lore for all your favorite cows and scribes. Including yours truly. Adentum is a robotic scribe that spends all his time documenting all the lolcows of the digital and real world. Throughout many years of experience, this has prepared him for anything the lolcows may throw his way. Adentum is also a battle-hardened warrior that has many machinations at his disposal. Since he is the robot overlord, Adentum can construct more robots to do his bidding. The scribes have a powerful ally in this master of machines. The Acronian War is approaching, and Adentum is waiting. If you're interested in getting in on the action, or even want to test your luck by donning one of the Sonichu medallion shirts, check out my affiliate link down below.